Welcome to the Republic of Players podcast, where we dive deep into the world of gaming, whether it's latest releases or classics that paved the way. Whether you are a seasoned gamer or just somebody starting out, well then this podcast is for you. Whether it's first-person shooters, role-playing games, classics, or even talking about the latest in VR technology, you need to grab your controller, sit back, and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Republic of Players podcast, the only and greatest podcast in Ireland, possibly the world.
The only podcast in Ireland.
The only podcast in Ireland. Don't go looking. Don't Google it.
No, it's the only one.
Only one worth watching.
We're just going to throw out some really truthful statements at the start of every podcast to try and get some viewers in. But this is episode 7, season 2, episode 7. We're back once again. We have Paddy Toner. What's happening, Paddy?
I'm all good. All good.
Ready for a rant?
Yeah. Ready for a rant. Yeah. All good.
It's good to escape into
There is
the
no
world
spoon.
Yeah, there is no spoon. Good movie.
Great movie.
John Fogarty, Mr. Fogarty, I've seen your latest YouTube video. I was quite happy to see another Let's Chat talk with the crew.
Yeah.
Went down pretty well.
It did, but they usually do. People, when I'm doing like a series or something like that, it'll get like dwindling views. But when I do like the Let's Chats and stuff, they get like my best views. Actually, really.
You ever think they just want to see more, John?
You have a sparkling personality, John.
That's it. You just want to see more of John. Let's chat. I'm in.
Like honestly, the last week when we were talking about YouTube, in my head the whole way through it, but it never got to mention, was to call out your YouTube channel, because honestly it's the one channel that when I see something come up on it, I will always watch it.
Oh, thank you.
You've got this kind of personality that brightens up the day, to be honest. And I do like those Just Chats as well. And we need to get back to the co-op playthroughs as well. They were
definitely.
always fun.
I'm going to do a little bit more streaming as well.
I know, and I'm not wanted.
That was the main idea. Oh, Paddy, of course you're
Paddy's
in.
always welcome.
Those forest videos did very well as well.
I want you ranted
stop
on
playing
YouTube,
that.
Paddy. That's your niche, I think.
Ranted on YouTube? No, I got cancelled. That's it.
Send it off to your customers.
Anyway.
Could be a
No, I can't do that either.
reverse psychology marketing
get sacked.
strategy.
I can imagine, like, if you start talking about it, you think they'll never see this, and they see it. And then you go back to their house. So you're on the YouTube, are you?
Yeah.
So I hear you're racist now, Father.
How to get into that sort of thing?
What's happening, Ed? How are you keeping?
I'm really good. Had a good Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Played a bit of music. Went back to work. Played a lot of Resident Evil 4. It's been good.
Nice. I started to get back into music myself. Trying to almost copy songs that are in the charts already and trying to get a similar design. Just using stock plugins with Ableton. The last time I had Ableton installed, I just had too many plugins and you end up just doing nothing with them. So I said I'm just going to really focus on the stock plugins that they give you, and it's been good. Like, it's been a creative experience.
It's a powerful piece of software.
Yeah, I love it. Like, I love it. So that's what I was doing over the Easter weekend. So I actually did a cover of Weekend's Blinding Lights, and
nice.
it turned out pretty well. It's on
Nice.
It's on the Instagram page, Fox Digital Media. It's just
Weekends.
I'm definitely going to check that out.
yeah. Everything is from scratch except for the drums are obviously samples, but any synthesizers used. I also sing in it as well. So
The Streets.
sorry about that. The which?
The Streets.
Yeah.
Blinding Lights. That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
The Streets. Oh yeah, Blinded by the Lights. Yeah, that's a great
that's
track. I heard that
that's a
live
great song.
actually.
Yeah, that's very good.
That's an old one.
I love the Streets. They're amazing.
Their Streets were
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
They
Before
were-
their time, really. Yeah.
Yeah, they played at Mullingar at Hi-Fi, the first festival I was ever at, and probably one of the best. Like, there was so many big acts at it. Prodigy were there, Tiesto, Lisa Lashes. Like, it was a crazy lineup.
Yeah.
when I
The
think
Prodigy
about
just live here for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
did,
think
yeah.
they're on every festival imaginable in Ireland. So it's like,
it.
wow.
I've seen them 4
Prodigy.
times, but
I
nothing
think
came
I've
close
seen them twice.
They
Yeah.
kill every time.
Yeah,
People
they do,
just
they're-
love
Yeah.
them.
Amazing.
They were playing just before Eminem, the auction, and it was like falling
Wow.
out with the Prodigy into Eminem. It's a bit different now. But I had to see Eminem. Like, you have to go
Bit
see
more
Eminem. He's
chilled.
there. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
I was in the hospital during that oxygen.
Were
I had a ticket for it, and I had a car crash.
Oh, was it that was
beforehand.
2010, wasn't it? I think it was. You had a
Yeah.
car crash. Like,
Yeah,
it was
the day
2010.
before.
Oh.
Wow. I was
That
there
was
the year
vote-
before.
That was
and-
voted the best lineup in the world that year.
No way.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
went to 07 and then I missed up a couple of years, and then the year I wanted to go back. On the way to Asda to buy booze for oxygen, we got into that car crash.
Oh,
That's
Jesus.
rough. That's rough.
Was Baxter driving?
He wasn't.
Baxter.
That's her friend. He's a bit nuts.
He is
Is that his real name, or is he
No, his
called
second name is
Anchorman?
Baxter. His
David
second name is
Baxter.
Baxter. It's David Baxter.
Don't know if we
Call-
should name him online.
Call you.
Sorry.
Ah, shame. I'm gonna clip it and show it to him later on. Nut job.
Heart of gold, but
Yeah,
crazy.
no, he definitely is. Definitely, he's a good fella.
So we are here to talk about gaming news.
Oh, shout out to Tink as well. She's sick. Doesn't
Shout out
Oh,
to
yeah.
Tink, yeah. She
Yeah,
was
yeah,
away at the weekend.
Spreading COVID. We don't know if she got it there or she brought it with her, but she has it now.
Either way, it's back in Ireland. Or no, Amsterdam. Yeah.
Yeah, Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So hopefully she gets well soon, and she'll be back next week. So let's dive straight into news, guys. So the world of AI, it's getting bigger, getting more mainstream. I've been using it an awful lot for everything, to be honest. Just
I
to...
wish you could use it for plumbing, but you can't.
No, you can't.
Not yet.
No,
Not
yeah, what's that
yet,
really you
Paddy.
do? There's nothing you can do.
Turns out you can use it a lot for the work that I do.
Yeah, if you're doing kind of office work, you're fine.
It's great for
God
writing
damn it.
emails for you.
It's brilliant for writing
It's
emails.
so good.
So AI-driven NPCs are living lives and planning parties all on their own. Rich open worlds with emergent NPCs, social structures aren't as far off as we thought. So what this report goes on to say is that with NPCs, future NPCs are going to be ran by AI. So it will allow them to be more spontaneous, to create relationships with other NPCs in the world, that they're not on a set path. And I think that's something that could be very interesting if it obviously works. You can imagine that it could cause a lot of issues in terms of bugs, the NPC doing something that has never been done, and yeah, you can imagine that it will cause a couple of issues, but it does
This
sound
is-
very
It
interesting.
sounds like
how
the
we
sim is
This
right
is
to be
how we
brilliant.
get sentient, self-aware worlds.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Amazing, but terrifying.
So they learn from gamers. We will be teaching the AI. that'll
Oh,
dominate
don't
the
say
world.
that.
Yeah.
Is
That's
this
even worse.
just Westworld? Have you seen Westworld?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
It just reminds me of a book I read called Mogward. It was something similar to that. They used AI to create the background world for like an MMO, and the whole world became self-aware. It was actually a really good book.
Yeah, that sounds cool. But it I get what you're saying as well, Roland, that like again, we're at the very earliest stages of this kind of stuff, so there can be problems. But like again, we're at the infancy of all of this. So like
Yeah.
even what we see now, like game development, like a lot of it's got to do with, especially with like decisions, like flow charts. A lot of things are very rigid in game development because, as you said, you don't want them to go off script and
Yeah.
do stuff that will literally break the game. So you have to develop a game around that allows for more of an open flow. But yeah, as I said, it's going to be interesting because again, we're at the infancy of this. Like, what will this kind of technology be? Will you just
Can they set parameters? Like, can they have like you can only
Yes.
do a certain amount of
Yes.
code?
Yeah,
like,
you can, yeah.
they could have a far variety of code, but they can only stick in the parameters of the code.
Yeah, I would imagine so. A great game I used to play, I played it on stream a few times, was an AI Dungeon. That was a lot of fun, where it was just a text-based game where you would legitimately write in prompts like, I'm going to go over here and talk to this man, and then the AI would generate what would happen, well before ChatGPT and all that, and it was very fun because the most bizarre, craziest stuff would happen. I remember one time I introduced this guy. I ended up, because you kind of go with the flow with the AI, so I ended up making a baby making machine. Don't ask me how. And I showed this guy my baby, and the guy I showed it to immediately murdered it.
Jesus.
Wow.
It was really, it was funny at the time because it's an AI.
It's funny
baby,
at the
right?
time. Oh,
It's not a real baby. It's an AI baby.
Any of us
Oh,
watch,
John, whoa.
any of us watch Dog?
Doug,
I watched
no.
Doug.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
No, I didn't watch Doug.
I think Dog's probably the most original streamer I've ever seen.
Hmm.
He does things like this where he gets his chat and himself to have mock wars using AI, where the AI would create anything, and he would sort of create the next prompt for how the next battle would go, and then his chat would do something similar, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
So
He had an
have
AI. He had an AI tournament arc once, and turns out Kirby is unkillable.
I mean, it can eat you and become you. That's a pretty
Yeah,
powerful.
yeah.
That's a pretty powerful position.
It was Kirby and the president from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Oh, of course, yeah.
That was like one of the
Nano machines. Son.
Yeah, he was getting AI to write the script for every fight. It was so funny.
Yeah.
So what I'm reading here is there was a project done in Stanford University. There was 6 members that created a game that replicated The Sims, and they put 25 AI agents with motivations and memory. Not only did they engage in complex behavior, including throwing a Valentine's Day party, but the actions were rated more human than humans role-playing.
For God's sake!
How can you be more human than
it's
human?
at the worst it's ever been, and we're already at like.
Well, that's a really good question, Paddy. The only thing I can think of is that when someone is role playing, it's down to that person's creativity, whereas a robot has the data of some of the most creative people, or just the raw structure of, okay, I want to be. It's not just pretending to be a dragon; it's looking at the data of what a dragon is and being that dragon. It's doing it like almost like to a mechanical degree.
No, the question is, do they get anxiety? Yeah. Because that's human. that's how human you get. Everyone gets anxious.
I don't want AI with anxiety. I don't want them to start feeling like they're in a corner.
Yeah, but that's not human then.
If anyone wants to check out the research paper that was done on it, I just linked it there. So check it out. It's actually quite detailed, and it goes over, exactly what they did and the results that they...
It kind of just feels like it's something in the background all the time developing now. It's just there. We know it's coming. We know it's like something's going to happen. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it'll just be a part of our lives, like the iPhone or the normal things.
I think there's I saw like there's a group of technologists, like it was like 5,000 of people signed an open letter to the world's governments saying we need to put a legal stop on this or it could like destabilize the planet.
Yeah. It's always the thing is it fall into the wrong hands and what can happen and who will let this happen. You can't trust people. That's the fortune thing about it.
Plus, it's like stop making nukes. It's like, okay, you tell America that, and then like, which you wouldn't do, obviously. But like, it's like, will Russia stop or any other country stop? No.
Yeah.
You have to have a global ban. Yeah.
They told Ukraine to get rid of them.
You got to keep up with your competitors because then they'll get ahead of you when you have stuff like that banned. And then
India's already said that they have a complete open policy on it and they're going to go full steam ahead.
I don't blame them. I honestly don't.
No,
people with nukes don't get invaded.
No, I'm not on about nukes. I'm on about AI.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about nukes. We were on about nukes there. Sorry.
I was going. I have no interest in talking
more nukes. Says Paddy.
I don't say more nukes. It's not that Ukraine had nukes. Now they don't. They got invaded. That's just the way it is.
So yeah, that's interesting. We talked about that, I think it was 2 shows maybe back, that AI would be brought into the world of gaming. I mean, usually gaming is used as a platform to trial out a lot of these technical advances. We see VR, gaming being VR being used in gaming as almost like a testing ground to bring it to the next level. So it just feels kind of right that this would be something that'll be used.
If one company came out and they developed a code for NPCs that worked well, they could probably just sell them to all the rest of the companies and everyone use the same kind of structure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
they had it in Shadow of Mordor and they never gave it away to anyone else.
Did they not?
They
Nemesis system. Yeah. Definitely the best I've ever seen NPCs in a game.
The thing about this is if an AI develops a system for NPCs to be more realistic, people just need to create an AI that will play the game and then recreate it themselves. This is the problem with this. All you do is create an AI that can create the next great AI.
Yeah, exactly. That's where you're when they literally have kin. That's a problem. When you literally have basically AIs giving birth to other AIs, that's which I think is probably sooner than we think.
Oh, they're already making AIs to.
It's now apparently.
Yeah, they're already making AI because it's the only way to detect if it's stuff is like plagiarized.
an
So
AI.
all the colleges are all developing AI to detect if anything's plagiarized through other AI.
Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of colleges taking it on board and using the likes of ChatGPT in the classroom to do collaborative work to create, different ideas, and then to expand on that. I think a lot of people think, oh, won't they just use this to do their work for them? But at the end of the day, that's been happening regardless whether this AI was here. Like, anyone that's been doing a paper has to research it somewhere.
Just for instance, person that was in...
But you don't. That's the problem, Ronan.
You don't what?
You don't have to research anything. I've seen complete theses made with no work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But does that not then go down to maybe we need to change how the education system works?
Yeah, well, that's another question. Big time,
what we need to learn and what we can now do, because was it like, not all math, I know people, but like basic math, wasn't that thrown out the window when we all had calculators in our pockets? Do you know what I mean? Like it's not thrown out the window, you know what I mean? But like technology, when that advances, we need to kind of look at how the curriculums are teaching things, because if things become obsolete, but we still just stick to the old curriculums,
it does become a problem. Like the older generation, if you ask them a phone number, they'll be able to rhyme a phone number off to you, because it was so back then that you had to know phone numbers, and we don't do that anymore. Like, you lose something, you lose a bit of memory skill. If you don't develop your skills without the calculator, without the computer, like it affects your brain in day to day stuff. But I do agree the education system does need to be updated, but that's a fucking big story too.
Yeah, no, you're right, Paddy, and it is dangerous if it all goes down. If the whole system goes down globally, and there's nothing, there's no technology, there's not technology, but there's no internet, there's no Wi-Fi, nobody has internet connection.
Well, I hope that never happens.
Well, that's endgame anyway.
That's endgame. Yeah.
That's back to the big man wins.
People out in the streets 90s. Fighting. So, back in the 90s.
Oh God, no, not again.
Not the 90s. I think the 90s was peak for human beings.
It was
the best
peak.
time. It was peak.
It was pretty good. It was like the advancement in video games, seeing like a lot of the new consoles come out.
It was phones, advancements in everything, and now we're just spoiled. Like, our computers load up in 2 seconds flat. Remember when the computers used to take ages with the hard drives, normal hard drives? We're sitting there like,
I used to read a book during that time.
Millennials.
I remember the first computer my primary school ever got was like a Windows 3.2 machine, and it took 42 minutes to boot.
42 minutes.
Is it Granny's Apples, or what was that old game? Granny's Apples.
Witch's Garden or something like that. We had Witch's
Garden.
The
Witch's Garden, yeah. It was a text-based video game.
We had that. Yep.
No, it wasn't text-based. There was graphics.
But like green line kind of ASCII graphics. Yeah.
But you put in the answers, and then you go along to the next stage, and it was...
How come kids in schools aren't just using like iPads and stuff? I don't get that. Is it just too expensive?
No, we're getting to that stage. Yeah, my son uses an online application called Aladdin for all his homework. So,
all right, well, that's
definitely getting to a stage.
But, like, you could have all the way like book rentals and all that crap. Like, you could have all the books on the iPads.
I do think that would save the backs of a lot of children.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the bag I used to take to school. Oh my God, I wouldn't do it now. Do you
remember all the little first years walking around with the big bags hanging out? We were there one time.
Yeah.
Geography books were always the biggest, or maybe even history. There were always these massive tomes. I hated them.
Our metalwork book was huge.
It was made of metal.
It was made of metal. If you can make this book, you've passed.
April's PS Plus Extra and Premium games include Doom Eternal and, is it Kenna? Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah.
It's got a few others as well. So we have Wolfenstein The Old Blood, The Evil Within, the first one, which is a very good video game. Riders Republic, which is that Ubisoft like downhill mountain biking game.
It was really fun.
It was fun. And Sackboy, a big venture. So there's a couple PS Plus Premium members mostly get access to Bethesda Classics. The first 3 Doom games and Doom 64 are included, as is Dishonored, the definitive edition. So it's not all good news, unfortunately. Sony warns that Spider-Man, Resident Evil, and NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 are some of the games departing from the catalogue. So yeah,
I don't understand that.
Either do I.
They own Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, that one doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they're hard on out space, or they out.
Yeah, the old OneDrive is getting full.
They can't afford it anymore. Right, charge. They didn't want to keep as much as they possibly want on it.
I don't know. There's still something that won't let me pull the trigger on this PS Plus service.
Well, I'll be honest.
That's bad.
They took up mine on by themselves. I didn't even agree to it, and it's just been paid ever since. I just didn't cancel it.
That's how subscriptions work, man. It's horrible. I'm the same with everything.
It just jumped, but I didn't subscribe to the new one. Like it just put me onto it. I was like, thanks. Suppose I will. I suppose I will.
Yeah, I find this. I pay for Humble Bundle, and the amount of games,
great.
The amount of games that come out, the month after they're on Humble Monthly on the PlayStation Plus thing is insane.
Yeah.
The value isn't there. The games they're giving aren't worth the money they're paying for. They're charging you for.
No, so I haven't paid that whatever these days.
Yeah, no, I've been paying for Humble Monthly for years, which is a great service, but I kind of I forget about it. So I have like years worth of Steam codes that have never been used. I really should stop using Humble Monthly.
We could have another charge.
I'll never stop. I'm grandfathered in on the old price, and I'm never giving it up.
Just give it all. Give them all away.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Pat.
Like honestly, I'm looking at Humble Bundle now, and there could be 15 to 20 games there. Survivor.
And if you want to give our code away, if you want the Humble Bundle, click down below in the link.
Humble Choice is a fantastic monthly service.
Humble Choice, how much is that, Ed?
I think I'm at $11.99. I think it's $12.99.
You got the Republic deal, did you?
Is there any reason?
Yeah, grandfathered in.
There's so many subscriptions these days, isn't there?
Like this month, it has Death Stranding Director's Cut and it has Rollerdrome, and both of those games are fantastic.
Let's leave that subscription topic to topic of the week. I think it's a good one to come back on.
Okay,
definitely one that is an issue. So, and if anyone in the chat wants to jump in as well, we're going to be talking about subscription models. Are they an issue? Is it something that you purchase? We will be revisiting that.
Do you know what we should start doing? We should start inviting people up to talk on Zoom for at the end or something some of the days. That'd be good, Craig.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk about something.
Yeah.
Come on in and chat to us.
Come on in, have a cup of tea.
Yeah, give me a cup of tea, please.
Tell us how we're wrong.
Yeah.
Did anybody see the new Super Mario Bros. Movie?
I am going to see it on Saturday, so don't spoil it.
Same.
My nephew saw it and he absolutely loved it.
My daughter saw it already. I was like, how dare you see without me? But she did.
So all the records were smashed on opening weekend.
Did you see it, Ronan?
No, I haven't seen it.
My
son wants me to go with him, so we're going to hopefully go this weekend. It was a little bit of a busy weekend last, so we didn't get a chance. Highest grossing debut of 2023, surpassing Ant-Man and the Wasp at 106 million. So it is biggest 5-day Wednesday to Sunday opening of all time, overtaking 2009's Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. How is that even there? At 200 million.
Is that the second one?
So note this, that is specifically for movies that open on Wednesdays.
Oh, right.
Okay.
It's nowhere near the biggest opening weekends in general, which belongs to Avengers, Endgame, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Infinity War. Highest grossing debut for Illumination, beating 2015's Minions, and 3-day opening weekend of 115 million.
It's such a weird thing to say. I didn't open on the weekend, but it got the Wednesday. It's like, what?
Yeah.
All right then, cherry picking stats, are we?
Yeah,
but I'd say it's a good film. Some people don't like it. I'm like, I can't see why you wouldn't.
Critics don't like it.
It's like people that don't know Mario don't like it.
Yeah, it's got like a 56% critic score and like a 90%. I don't know the exact numbers. Something along those lines. Fan score. It's one of those movies that is like people like it who went to see it because they knew it was a Mario movie, and then you got critics going, the storyline is it's like, well, it's an Illumination. Yeah. It's a kids movie. Like in all honesty, it's. But like, it's entertaining for the parents too. It's one of those kind of things, from what I understand.
Nothing makes me want to watch a movie more than going on to Rotten Tomato and the critics giving it a low score and audience just blasted up to 96%.
The problem with
it's going to be fun.
The problem with the media is negativity gets more clicks. It's just the way it is. It's an unfortunate thing about it. How dare they say that?
57% critics on Rotten Tomato and 96 on audience score. So
people love it.
My friends have seen it. I've said if you played a Mario game in your life, you'll love it.
Rotten Tomato seems to be always doing that these days, though. It's just
they do.
Film critics have gotten real
edgy tomato.
Cynical
edgy tomato.
If it ain't A24, they don't want to hear about it.
You're not wrong.
They love The Last Jedi, so that was me finished with them.
I couldn't agree more in that case.
Yeah. So The Last of Us, we talked a little bit about this before the show started. The Last of Us PC is still punishing CPUs despite 14 gigabyte performance patch. It looks terrible.
It's mostly negative reviews on Steam just because of how, and obviously it's The Last of Us, it's not a bad game. It's just solely on performance issues and bugs because it's just a terrible, terrible PC port, which they delayed, by the way, which got delayed.
Yep. And like these are bad on 4090s.
Yeah. There's somebody here running on a i9 4090, 64 gigabyte of RAM, DDR5, 5600 MT SSD. And the SSD is 7,000 megabytes, and it's not looking good at all.
Heck, they did a bad job, so.
Whatever about, like, I could be wrong here, but I feel like in the past maybe 6 months to a year, games that are created for the new consoles and then ported over to PC have been pretty much a shambles on release. I'm trying to think. I played the new PGA game there during the week, and it ran absolutely terribly on PC and perfectly on PS5. And I'm finding that an awful lot with PC ports. They don't seem to be doing a good job.
I wonder what's wrong. What's the power?
This is a generational thing. This happens every generation.
Okay.
There's always the point at the beginning of a console generation where for like 2.5 years solid, the consoles are like by far and away the best value for money. So everything's very heavily developed for them. And usually they have a new technology that the PC hasn't catched up on yet, which is probably the new speed of SSDs. And this is why early into every console generation, PC ports tend to suffer.
All right. And would the M.2s on the PC not be better than the SSDs and the PlayStation?
No, very few PCs have a Gen 4.
All right.
The PCIe Gen 4 lanes allow for like 5 gig a second transfer speeds, which you just can't get on PCIe Gen 3.
It's mad the way they can do that, isn't it? I suppose the company's developed towards it.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
Consoles tend to have a new technology that's sort of their backbone, and it takes a while for PC.
Who are you focused on PC building anymore? Is it just like Microsoft and stuff? Do they even build PCs? Or is it
for everything else, graphically, the consoles can't keep up at all. The 4090 is so far and away more powerful than anything a console has.
Yeah.
So it's
is there anyone focused on building PCs to get as a whole anymore? No.
Well, there's loads of like PC building companies, but there's like there's been
like like Apple, or back in the day, the Apple, or who else was it? IBM, or like they just focused on building PCs at the time.
Well, Apple and Dell still do.
Yeah, or the Mac and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There's still retail. Like
you never think like, I'm going to buy a PC, so I'll go get a Dell. You don't think that anymore, do you? You don't.
Well, people who know how computers work just don't think that way in general.
Yeah, I suppose true.
It's been like that forever.
Yeah,
it's like about those companies because when you were younger, never ever considered making a PC, and you're like, if I was to get a PC, I'd need to buy one off somewhere.
Yeah.
Now that you know that building them is a thing, you'd never think about those companies again.
It's the only time I ever really thought of it was I remember when I was like 15, 16, how cool an Alienware sounded. You'd see it, you'd be like, oh wow, I'd never be able to afford this, but I bet you the graphics and they're so cool. And look at all these lights and all these colors. Oh my god! But like
they're still using that to make money.
that was my 14, 15-year-old brain.
It works.
It works.
It does.
Yeah.
That's the thing where people fall into is they think all PCs are the same when they're not. Yeah. It's like all PlayStations are the same. That's true, but all PCs aren't the same. Even though they see a big shiny box, they don't know what's in it. You could have like a bloody hamster running around the wheel.
Yeah,
this is what Facebook Marketplace is terrible for, people not knowing what they have.
Yeah, I think it's a great time to own a console, especially if you have the newest gens. Like the games that are coming out for it run extremely well, and
yes,
I've been enjoying being on the console recently. Like, you're always going to get the games that you can't play on console and the mods and everything else, but I do enjoy just being able to sit down and plug and play and everything works and you're not worrying about frame drops. And it's a very, very good system, the PS5.
And controller and couch. You can't beat that. Just for a bit of comfort. I know PC is great, but like there's comfort involved on having an old game on a console.
There is, definitely. So there's a funny thread here that I thought I'd bring up. So Resident Evil 4 Remake as told by Steam reviews. So the first one is, got killed by a cow, 10 out of 10.
That bet is so good.
Shoot the lake water for a secret costume. Didn't know that.
People were getting trolled about that. Or we're not trolling now. Or no, actually, no. Everybody at home, shoot the lake. You
shoot the lake.
You get a secret costume.
Okay, so you get eaten alive, do you?
You get
no.
Spoiler alert.
Even though you should do it with a cook-up scene.
Okay, I'll definitely do it. Yeah. The residents in this game are in fact evil. 10 out of 10.
They're not nice. Maybe what's his name, Carlos. Although he worked for Umbrella, whatever his name is, he was pretty bad. But he's okay. Anyway, sorry.
That's okay. I'm so serious right now. This is the best game I've ever played. So, we have a negative one. Wow. Capcom is still releasing remakes with cut bosses, cut features and modes. They removed a boss fight, won't say which one to avoid spoilers. They removed mercenaries to make it a DLC, and they removed separate ways and assignment to sell them later probably. No, Resident Evil 4 had all of those. Forget about the negatives.
They're adding them. They're actually adding them all for free. Mercenaries was added 2 days ago.
I saw it there. It said free update. Because I, to be honest with you, when I saw because it's like the advertisement when you're on the PlayStation, it says Mercenaries DLC, and I was like, oh no. And then when I go this is the game, it's like, do you want to download the free DLC? I was like, fair enough.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty good with that.
The president's daughter kidnapped. What we going to do? We need to send one man with herbs, a gun with 10 rounds, and a knife. Maybe it works. 10 out of 10.
Not just one man. Leon S. Kennedy.
Perfection has been perfected. 10 out of 10.
Where's everybody going?
It's doing well, so.
Bingo. Oh, it's fantastic. It's so good.
Man, Paddy, I love it so much.
Have you finished it in?
Good.
No, I'm like playing an hour a day and like savoring it.
I stopped playing it for a while. I still haven't finished it either. I started on hardcore. I'm on like chapter 14. I stopped playing it for like a week and a half, but it's fantastic.
I'm at the end of the castle.
So it's game of the year kind of territory.
Gun rhymes with fun. 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
Yeah, these are good. Wow, they made a game about the Dead by Daylight and the Fortnite guy.
This is a joke, I assume.
It is. And then the other one,
they added microtransactions, did they?
Yeah, so that was the.
Sorry, I cut you in. You're about to say.
No, you were quick. Do you have that? Do you have that up?
No, it was said in the.
I can tell you what they are. I know this. Yeah, they added in the 2 guns that you could buy with the deluxe edition, and they also added in tokens that allow you to fully upgrade your guns permanently, instantly, and like $2 each.
You get the 2 guns though for the deluxe edition, and I gotta be honest with you folks. I had those 2 sold probably in like chapter 3 because I had better guns by then.
Yeah, let's face it, they're all going to try and make a little bit extra money. It's just
it's so minor. Like I'm fine when it's egregious microtransactions, but I'm never going to touch these.
Yeah. And it doesn't affect an online environment. I mean,
no.
If you want to, if you don't have like that long to upgrade your weapons, you can just throw a few extra quid at it. I don't mind these offline single player ones because I think it keeps single player gaming somewhat alive and allows the company to make a little bit more money than just sales on the initial sale.
Like DLC and microtransactions never bother me. It's like if you don't want it, don't get it.
Yeah.
Let's just move on.
DLCs were the big villain before microtransactions because they were like the first microtransactions, the DLCs. I know what you're saying, the horse saddle in Skyrim, but like they're or that was Oblivion, whatever what it was. But the freaking
I think more like FIFA.
Well, yeah, of course, but But when I remember DLCs were the first ones that like really people were like, I have to pay for more content, just put it all on the game. But people are more like they DLCs are a bit more normal now because it's like, okay, 6 months down the line, we're going to give you some more content.
The real problem used to be on disc DLC.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Oh my god, was I mad about that?
Yeah, that's despicable, and I agree with that too. Like, it's the content's already there. It's basically just a switch being flicked.
Yeah, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where there was stuff on the disc that you had to pay extras to unlock.
Yes, silly.
Oh, drove me mad.
It's slimy.
So Rubber Bandit says microtransactions are completely unnecessary. You could take them or leave them. Honestly, I just don't like. It's just one of these things companies do to push their targets. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
But some of them are. But there's some of them where like they've made the game harder and then made.
Yeah, I don't agree with them. I hate them.
That's most of them.
That's
absolutely most of them.
Wasn't that Star Wars that you had to pay? You could pay and you could get the best thing. You didn't have to play the game. And if you played the game, it took like 100 hours to get.
No, that was what do you call that?
Battlefront 2.
Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah,
that. All right.
I think that was one that kind of made a big.
Battlefront 2 was the big one that people
that's a multiplayer game
turned against.
Single player game. What do you call that? What do you call that Lord of the Rings game you were talking about a while ago?
Battle for Middle Earth.
No, it's
Mordor. No,
yeah, Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow Mordor. Yes, that was riddled
like a 40-hour grind at the end of the game to get the last thing, unless you fucking.
That was the second one. That was Shadow of War, wasn't it?
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was riddled with microtransactions. It did it in such a bad way as well. You'd find like a chest and you'd open it and it'd say, "Pay this amount to get what's in the chest."
Jesus Christ!
It's like, what the? And I actually liked the first one just because the Nemesis system that we're talking about was something that I had never seen. It was really good. Like, I platinumed the original one. The second one I didn't get into at all. I played a little bit of it, but I just couldn't really.
I'm the exact same, Rob.
Do you know what the worst thing for microtransactions is? Mobile games. Ridiculous. It's just so bad.
I just don't touch gacha games,
Paddy,
my God.
I'll one up you. My nephew, I was looking after my nephew the last few days.
Roblox.
He showed me Roblox. Yeah. That is horrid. That's egregious. You'll be playing a game, like, let's play this game. And this pop-up at the middle of your screen pops up and goes, "Do you want to buy the super awesome sword for 30 Robux?"
Yeah.
And so what happens? The OK starts going up, like a little animation. So it's literally like it's pointing at and giving you like the OK. Yes, click this, because they know it's for like 5-year-olds.
Mobile gaming is the worst.
It's the only reason I want to get my daughter a Switch, so she stops seeing these bloody ads pop on her face every 5 seconds when she's trying to play a game.
Like, the young lad will get the work phone and he'll have like 5 games downloaded, and you'll be in work, and next minute this beep will happen on the phone. It's like, what the hell is that? It's like, pay this amount to unlock this shield, and you're like, what the hell? This thing is connected to my bank card.
Android is just.
That's it.
I fell for one of them. I played Simpsons Tapped Out when it came out, and I put an embarrassing amount of money into it.
I love when the truth comes out.
And then I'm like, what am I doing? And just uninstall. I'm never playing a game like this again. Any game that requires you to pay to not wait for something is.
I'm sure it's the same feeling of walking out with cookies after losing all your money.
It's as predatory.
Oh no, it is bad, and it's all aimed at children too, which is worse. It's all aimed at the children because they're all kids, like you say, tell you run yourself. Give us your phone. Let me play this or do this. Let me play, and they play on the tablet all the time. The tablet's the new thing.
Yeah,
and it's just flat out, and she'd be like, "Oh, can I have some money for Roblox?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah, but
no, you can't.
It's not even that. There is so much crap on the Play Store. I think because anyone can develop for it. There's no. There's no quality assurance.
But the kids don't associate with real money. Like, it's just a button. It's just like, oh, put this in, I'll get this. And 2 seconds later, they'll be like, oh, can I have this as well? And it'll switch. They'll keep going to get more and more and more. It is predatory. So it's disgraceful.
Like, very recently, I let the young lad get the battle pass on Fortnite. I was like, okay, yeah, you've been good this week. Get the battle pass. And then a month later, it's like, your monthly subscription for the whatever pass has gone through, and it was like €12 every pop, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I went in, and he was actually, after signing up to some monthly subscription on Fortnite, it took €12 out of your account.
€12.
I was like, this is crazy. Like, and he kind of knows what he's doing, but like, what did he even click? I went on to the game. I was like, what here can you sign up for a month? And yeah, it must have been just a special offer. Special offer. Yeah, I know.
But in fairness, Ro, that's where that recent lawsuits come from, where people looking for the refunds, is for this exact reason.
Okay.
How it's so easy for kids to do this, and that like it shouldn't be as easy, and that if something is bought wrongfully or if you lose some of your stuff, you should be able to get refunds. Where they're like, nah, you're not getting any refunds. That's where that whole lawsuit came from.
Wasn't that there with Ninja, where someone sent him $1,000 by accident? Used his mother's credit card, meant to send him tenner or something, and send him $1,000.
Wow.
And he sent it back to him, thank God.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that.
You have to.
You know you would, yeah.
He's not strapped for a few quid anyways, is
No,
Ninja?
they're Ninja.
Yes, I'd be down to bookies straight away. To be gone.
Monkeys.
Why would you have 1,000 where you could possibly have two?
Always bet on black.
Don't gamble, people. Do not gamble. It's not worth it.
You're right.
I was bet on black. Yeah, I was in Vegas. That's what we did, and we lost. There's my story.
Oh, you lost money in Vegas? How could that have happened?
Yeah. Never.
You went red.
Never bet. I went red. Yeah, that was the issue. Go black, people. So this is an interesting piece of news. It was put up on the community earlier on. I know a lot of people loved these games, but EA won't let American McGee make another Alice game. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is the original, the one that's actually worth a few quid now if you have it sealed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
you haven't at all.
Sure, you mentioned that before, Paddy, didn't you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, no, that game will be like it's starting to go up in price. It will be worth a lot because it's one of them weird games.
So
it sells up well either.
There was a tweet he tweeted recently saying Alice Asylum has reached an end after several weeks of review. EA have come back with a response regarding funding and or licensing for Alice Asylum. Alice had a good run, but the dream is over. So I know a lot of people were upset about this news. Has anyone played the original? Because I have never played these games.
I have it, but I haven't played it. The thing is, I don't think EA is the right company for it. I'd say you need to go a different company.
They own the IP. That's the issue.
Well, maybe they should sell it, because if they want to keep going, like if they don't want to make it, like maybe let go. But like sometimes,
is it down to sales?
Maybe it's one of them. That's why it's one of them games. It only fit a niche kind of people. You know what I mean? Like some only a certain amount. EA is like a FIFA. Like everyone will buy it. You know, they want them kind of games. Star Wars. The niche games are the ones that won't do as well. That's why it's going to be worth money. Do you know what I mean? Because they didn't sell as many as they should. I need to look up the things, but I can imagine EA wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
didn't work.
It's something like maybe you could try and peddle onto like a Double Fine or something. But yeah, I agree with that completely. Like, they'd make some game, like they make some great, like Psychonauts 2. Nobody thought that was going to happen. But because of
I certainly didn't.
Because the love of the developer and the fact that they really wanted to make it, and that's fairly niche. It's nostalgia plus people who played the first game. Do you know what I mean? But it got made. But it's because it was from a developer who, they wanted to get it out there.
Yeah.
I think a game like that, for a big publisher or development company to take it on, they need to know that the money that they invest is going to be.
Yeah, is it worth their time? Is it going to make the money back? You know, it's one of them things you need to every step of the way. Every game has to be decided, and it's Hollywood. That's it.
Yeah,
Hollywood, baby.
Yeah, Hollywood, baby.
First game is really good. I never played it.
McGee could probably go to a lot of companies, make a lot of games, but he seems to be this is the only one he's really interested in.
He worked on Doom 2, I think was his first game.
He worked on all of the Dooms up to 64 and Quake.
Okay.
Like, it's crazy. His record is like Doom 2, Final Doom, Quake, Doom 64.
But he was not
American McGee's Alice. It's such a weird turn.
Quake was great as well, wasn't it? I think it's kind of fallen back a little bit because we haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember Quake being amazing back in the day.
Yeah.
I think he was working with Ed from the very beginning up until just before Quake 3 came out.
There was Quake, Doom, and another game called Hexen. I don't know whether you remember that one.
I do remember Hexen.
Yeah, it was like, I think you could be like a sorcerer, a warrior, or a thief, and it was first person, exact same engine as Doom. I loved it.
Also worked on by American McGee.
Yeah. Same company, was it? I think John Romero
Raven.
was part of that.
It was Raven, which I think it's like a sister company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Didn't I? No, actually, I'm wrong about that. I'm not even going to say it because I know I'm already wrong.
It's all right, John. People are wrong. It's okay.
People can be wrong sometimes.
To bring back to Alice, I think
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland as an 18-year-old film would be unreal. I think it'd be so good if they did it like that. Magic mushrooms, fucking going down a rabbit hole. Like it would be an awesome film.
You get what do you call him? You get what do you call him to work on it? Oh, what's his name from Pan's Labyrinth?
Sweeney Todd.
What do you call the guy who made Pan's Labyrinth?
Pan's Labyrinth. What a movie!
Guillermo del Toro. If you give Guillermo del Toro Alice in Wonderland, you would get something special.
Just don't give it to Eli Roth.
No, don't.
Pan's Labyrinth
that's
is
the other side of it.
Like a masterpiece. In fairness,
it's so good.
It's
fantastic.
Crazy good. It puts that monster in it just is the creepiest, most well-designed monster. Yeah, have you seen it, Paddy?
I can't remember. I probably have seen it.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's a fairy tale for adults. Basically, exactly what you're talking about. Like it takes a lot of it takes a lot of a fairy tale kind of stories, and it's very good. It's
I think a lot of fairy tales would definitely take like 18 versions of some fairy tales would do.
I agree.
Well.
Yeah,
like the original fairy tales are actually a lot creepier, and
a lot of the Hans Christian Andersen stuff and all that is like they're tales about warning people, and there are people dying them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isn't stuff like Cinderella, like they crush their feet, they cut their feet off, and all this weird.
They cut the stepsisters start cutting their toes off to try and get their foot into the glass.
I'm not saying that's good stuff, but I think Alice in Wonderland would work well because it's already that kind of weird fucking. You don't know if she's taking drugs or that kind of way.
There's a Winnie the Pooh horror coming out, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard
it's already out. I think.
What sort of reviews is that thing getting?
Apparently, it's abysmal. I saw a review. Apparently, it's like one of the worst things ever.
Blood and Money, it's called.
It would be hard to make a good one. Like you would fall down it. You don't know what's going to be good. You don't know what's going to be bad. It's like the
reviews are
Willy
not
Wonka. In the Chocolate Factory. The remakes didn't do that well. I didn't really enjoy the remakes of Willy Wonka. The Willy Wonka originals were way better.
Gene Wilder is by Willy Wonka. Yeah,
they're brilliant. Like it's just enough amount of crazy. Like they just work well.
At any moment, you're like, he could kill all these children.
Yeah.
Michael Bay's Alice in Transformerland.
He doesn't give a shit. Like,
God, I hate Transformers.
So funny. The original Transformers is good.
I love like the comic stuff and I love like some old cartoons, but my God, those films drive me insane.
Did you not like the first one? No, I like the first one.
No, I
liked that at the time. I think.
Yeah. I wouldn't go back and watch. I wouldn't go back and wait to watch them. Like
I liked Megan Fox when I was that age.
When you were 12.
What year did that come out? Like I remember, like it was cool when I came out.
That's because it was Transformers. Transformers are always cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what would be brilliant to bring back Biker Mice from Mars?
That is a throwback right there.
What a great program. What a great program.
The theme music as well was crazy good.
Who doesn't want some Biker Mice from Mars? It's about the right time. We're going to Mars. Let's bring them back. Come on, people.
It's just literally the whole 80s/90s thing of let's get these animals, make them human, but also make them rad. It's like you got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you got the Biker Mice from. You remember the one that was like they were the dogs, and then they used to wear like metal suits, and they used to run around. And then there was Earthworm Jim, of course.
Oh, Earthworm Jim.
Put animals into a suit, make them cool, and have them do cool stuff. It worked.
Earthworm Jim with his little laser gun.
Yeah.
Playing the theme music for Biker Mice from Mars.
Yeah. What a great show! Because I see it. You know the way you like some of them. It could like you could come up as a picture and stuff. Like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember this.
That's a good throwback. That's not one that I'd remember. Yeah, it was.
90s was peak. That's just name the next show. 90s is the peak. The world fell off after that.
You got the tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. I remember
that's the one I was looking for the name for.
It was the biggest rip-off of the Power Rangers ever. And the theme music was...
Hold on, say that again, John.
I'll do the theme music. The theme music was the tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Oh my God.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
It used to be on Sky One.
I was here looking for that name.
I was too poor for Sky. There's loads of weird shows. What was that other one? There was one from Australia. It was really weird.
There's also Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
Around the Twist. Remember that show as well? There was loads of them shows.
Around the Twist.
Yeah, that show. Yeah, I remember.
Ever felt like this? How strange things.
It was like
going around the Twist.
It was like Twin Peaks for kids.
It was really. It was just bizarre, like Twin Peaks meets the Twilight Zone, just bizarre stuff. But in a kid's setting,
made by Australians for kids in Ireland.
Looks weird.
Made by Australians for kids in Ireland is actually there's a lot of stuff like that. It's very strange how like I know maybe not kids, but like
Home and Away and Neighbours were way bigger outside of Australia than they ever were inside.
Neighbours is finished now, isn't it?
I'm Blinky Bill. My whole life's a thrill. I'll do exactly what I like. I'm Blinky Bill.
There's loads that go in my head, but I can't bloody remember the names of them. Jesus, there were so many
Street
programs
Sharks.
back then.
James
Street Sharks.
Yeah.
Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Oh, I remember that. They were literal cowboys.
Yeah, we're cowboys.
Cowmen.
We can look them up. I said there's a big loads of them if you look them up.
I'm on a CBR list with 20 of them here.
Are you?
Yeah.
Any good shows in the chat that you can remember?
Rugrats, of course.
Rugrats, yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
Doug. I never seen Adventures of Pete and Pete. Clarissa explains it all. I watched it.
I like
Clarissa. Yeah.
Hey Arnold, can't beat that.
Mask
Secret World of Max. There was loads of them shows where like the stopwatch, stop time, and there's other ones where lads turned into water, and there's other
Arthur's
ones where
Watch.
Yeah. There's bloody
the amount of conversations I had just about that watch when I was younger with people.
Mankind should not have that watch. Mankind should not have that watch.
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell
was very
classic.
Good. Original Saved by the Bell. There was a bloody. They're all very Boy Meets World. I didn't really watch that. Dexter's Laboratory. That's just the younger version of the Big Bang Theory.
my sister.
That's the worst thing you could ever say about Dexter's Laboratory.
I like Big Bang Theory, so feck off.
No way.
Keenan and Kel, yes.
Oh yeah.
I watch Big Bang Theory every night
soda.
before I go to sleep.
I also put on white noise.
There's a lot more weird shows in my head that I can't. What'd you say?
Is that for the tinnitus? Is it?
I also put on white noise when I go to sleep.
You can record this podcast, or you can listen to it as you go to sleep. You can listen to my voice saying Big Bang Theory rules.
ASMR with Paddy.
Yeah, we have Paddy. Ooh, sleepy. These are all just like that. But I can remember like on RT2 they had all.
Paddy, and I mean this, you are infinitely more entertaining than the Big Bang Theory.
No.
You are 100%.
No. My mother calls me Sheldon. So
exactly. Big Bang Theory is for middle-aged, like 50, 60-year-old adults.
I'm middle-aged at heart.
That's what
I'm middle-aged at heart.
We're nearly middle-aged in age, Penny. We're getting there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we're getting there. I mean, I'm 35 this year. I am middle-aged.
Like
average age for me is probably 70, so I'm probably middle-aged.
I once heard Big Bang Theory be described as the show for parents that don't understand their children.
Could be.
Any other top shows that you can remember?
There's a lot of weird shows
I'm the biggest Power Rangers fan in the world.
Are you?
Yeah. My whole life, that original Power Rangers series is probably the reason I like the music I listen to, the reason I like robot stuff.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
The two, UK Office and US Office are two of my favorite shows.
I have never watched The Office.
Either of them.
Absolutely.
I've seen a little bit of the English one. I've seen a bit of the English one because it was everywhere for a while, but I haven't watched any of them.
No, the US Office is very good as well.
The original UK Office is the only TV show I've ever screamed at the TV about.
Which one?
Why?
Oh, the English one.
David Brent is the cringiest character.
I know, but that's what's perfect about the show.
That's what makes it amazing.
That's why he's so famous.
When he does the dance, like to try and outdance the two that are, I think it's like a Christmas party, and he does this jig, and you're just like, it's so cringy.
It's the most embarrassed I've ever felt for a person. And like that includes real people.
He does it so well, though.
He does it so well.
Yeah.
Remember Erie, Indiana? Did you ever see that? That's an old show.
No, I didn't see that.
Indiana. No, I never heard of that one.
It was like set in one weird street, and it was just like Ghost Right. What Ghost?
Sounds like Twin Peaks again.
Yeah, probably is. They're all like that, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Was it Erie? And I can't even know how to spell that. There's some great shows back then. You probably did loads you can't even remember.
The cartoons were just great. Those obviously the Dexter, Johnny Bravo, Courage the Cowardly Dog. The cartoon show was
Cat
great.
Dog.
It spawned so many good things.
Cat Dog was great.
No, in the world, little cat dog.
I love Courage the Cowardly Dog still to this day. That show holds up.
Yeah.
Here it is there. Erie, Indiana.
The original Toonami lineup of like Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wing.
Pretty good.
Like, if I share this, you can put it up with everyone.
I will.
I'll give it to you. It's the trailer for Erie, Indiana. I don't know if anyone remembers it, but
you send it to me on?
Into the Messenger, Facebook. I'll share it there. I need to watch it myself. I can't remember it, but I can remember the show.
Erie, Indiana.
It's like EERIE. It looks fucking stupid there. But it was good at the time. Yeah, it was good at the time.
Erie, Indiana.
Welcome, friend. No, I don't
remember.
Is this like
Fox Kids?
Bear with me a second, guys.
There's a weird energy to it.
It does. 1991 it came out. Jesus, very...
Probably like a precursor to Goosebumps.
Yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me of, is Goosebumps.
Yeah, or what's the other one?
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? For any Canadians out there.
Oh my god, dinosaurs as well. Jesus Christ.
You see the last episode of Dinosaurs?
Is that where they all die?
Oh man, it's so weird. They're waiting in the
That's another show. The Wonder Years. Remember that? You ever see that show?
Oh, yeah.
Animaniacs. Oh yeah, I love Animaniacs.
Oh yeah.
That came back last year and it's good.
Okay, I love you. Bye bye. What's everyone's favorite show in the
super weird
chat?
That new season of Animaniacs is really funny.
Oh, Animaniacs is top drawer.
Rubber Band wants to know, has Aiden ever heard of the show Beetleborgs?
Big Bad Beetleborgs. Oh,
yeah. Inspired
when I was a kid, I loved it, and now I despise it.
Tape Pokemon episodes every week.
I went back to try and watch it, but what it did was where like Power Rangers was, they got like 20 somethings to play teenagers. Big Bad Beetleborgs got like teenagers to play teenagers, and they were terrible actors, and the show was unwatchable because of it.
I've just had this weird memory. Does anyone remember the show that used to be on the Den, where it was like all the parents went missing and a load of kids started gangs, and they were like living in a shopping center?
That was it was actually all the kids, all the adults died.
Yeah,
and the children, he died at 21 or something.
Sounds so dark.
It was. I can't remember the bloody name of it, but it was a great show.
The Den would show dark shows.
That was set in New Zealand, I think.
It was, and like they lived in a shopping center.
We could just buy kid shows from New Zealand and Australia.
Yeah,
I don't know where that came from.
I actually follow some on Facebook about them. They're bringing out like podcasts and all that kind of stuff about it now. But I can't believe it was a brilliant show. It was all they all set up gangs, all went back to tribes and everything like that there because all the parents were dead. But it was kind of remind you of the things that was happening with them. It was the same thing, the plague or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Let me see. From the 90s. It's always the 90s because of peak.
Favorite show. This is obviously always a tough one, but John, favorite show of all time.
Oh god, that's impossible to
I know
say.
it's impossible. Let's go with favorite comedy show.
Favorite what?
Favorite comedy show, one that makes you laugh.
I wonder what I'm going to say.
That'd be even tougher.
The Tribe. That's it. The Tribe.
That was it.
It's actually 1999.
Chat as well. Your favorite show, comedy show of all time.
Oh,
I mean, it's got them on the spot, but the one I probably watched the most of is probably It's Always Sunny, honestly. And if you ask me a different one, if you ask me to think about it longer, I might think of a better one. But I
don't think there is a better one because I agree with you. That'd be top of the list. Top of the list for me as well.
I'll say something different.
Why were you going to say Always Sunny as well?
No, I have there's 4 obvious answers that I could give that are all incredible. Like I love IT Crowd and love Father Ted.
Yeah, Father Ted. That's a good shout.
Gareth Marenghi's Dark Place is one of my favorite shows
Dark
ever.
Place. Never seen it.
That's so good.
so good.
Is it cringy?
No,
on purpose.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's a show within a show.
I'm a one-track lover.
Dark Place TV show.
It's one of those just golden 6-episode Channel 4 series.
Okay.
And it's amazing.
I'll check that out.
It's funny. It's like a bad show on purpose. And with fake behind the scenes.
Richard Ayoade plays a man who can't act.
Mr. Bean, that's a good shout as well. Always good for a bit of a laugh.
Those original Mr. Bean episodes are almost perfect.
Yeah.
If it was
almost
just
no better physical comedy person that's ever lived.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force in South Park.
That's
Never heard of that first one.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force is Adult Swim. It's like
it was like one of the very first.
It's very, very kind of bizarre show.
Okay.
It's very Adult Swimmy humor.
South Park's a classic. The movie is amazing. South Park movie is top class.
I just want to sing the uncle stuff.
Yeah.
It was so there because at the age we were the same age at that time. Yeah. We were the same.
Oh
age
man, we were
same age as the characters. So we were watching things. We were living the life, going to watch the movie in the cinema.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we got in the cinema, but we were trying to watch it the same. We shouldn't have been watching, but we were watching it.
Yeah.
It kind of went in a circle. It was good.
like playing Grand Theft Auto, the original Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
you're not meant to be playing this, but
but
I got Pirate on DVD
or seen American Pie for the first time.
Yeah.
You're meant to see this, but it's a thing.
You're not supposed to don't tell your mum. Yeah. For me, randomly enough, when I was really young,
you were watching it with your mum.
probably like 7 or 8. I watched Face Off. That was the first one I remember. Was like, I shouldn't be watching this type of movie.
Oh man,
yeah.
Gosh, and you know what I mean? Like,
no, there was always like top movies in the house. Like I remember watching Alien, Predator, The Rock as well. I know that's not as gruesome, but I watched all those movies very early on.
Yeah, my mother went a little bit of a different way. We had horror movies, like proper 90s, 80s horror movies. So we had Freddy Krueger, fucking, what else was there? The Children of the Corn. Stuff that was.
I've never seen that one.
Oh Jesus! It is gruesome.
Yeah,
they're doing a remake.
Traumatized, Paddy.
Huh?
Traumatized.
But like back now, like I think it numbed me for a lot of things. In our because you don't feel you get older. It's like TV's just TV, you know, because you're so small. But like the things in them movies are completely different to what horror movies are now. It was very gruesome back then.
Oh yes.
Compared to now, these are a lot calmer these days. Maybe Saw went over the line a little bit more, but like the rest of the stuff was very like, ooh, spooky ghosts.
The psychological horrors are the ones that I like the most, like especially the modern
thriller
ones.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, I watched A Quiet Place the other night, and I mean it's a good movie. I mean even the second one is pretty good, but it's not the fact that there's monsters in it. It's I don't know, just the way it's filmed and the build up. Like I always like horror movies that build up and they're not jump scaring you. Like don't get me wrong, I do like an old 90s slasher like Freddy Krueger and the Friday the 13th and Halloween. They're always worth a look at.
Have you seen
time to time?
Oh, I know what it is though. It's Peter Jackson. Right? That's Peter Jackson, isn't it?
It is. It's Peter Jackson before he was famous, making just
gory.
These.
No way.
But it's gory in the way that he had a big bag of mints and a load of red paint.
Exactly. Yeah.
Practical effects though, with a budget.
Absolute practical effects. It's probably my favorite horror movie. It's a comedy horror movie.
The horror movies with less budget always are better, I think.
Yeah.
It's about a guy whose mother becomes a zombie and he tries to hide it, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
I think
I tend to agree.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, boys.
No, it's all right. We're all buzzing here for an outlet.
Yeah.
John.
To be honest, my internet's getting a bit buggy.
No,
as well,
I think it's all of us.
I could be a second behind you. But the what I was going to say is I'd have to agree with Ronan a little bit there as well, because I think for me, Hereditary was the best horror movie I've seen since The Shining.
Yeah.
That was like, I saw that in the cinema, and I won't spoil it, but there's a moment in that movie where the whole cinema audibly gasped. And like, I know a cinema is supposed to be silent anyway, but there was nobody rooting through their bags. There was nobody whispering. There was nobody coughing. It was just this horrid dead silence for about 5 minutes, and it was awesome.
John, I'm just trying to think of that because I did watch it, but I'm trying to think is it the same one? Is there a tree house at the end of that movie?
Yes.
That is a creepy movie.
Yes.
I enjoyed it as well.
the bit about halfway through the movie is what you might know what I'm talking about. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a moment that
it's okay. You can spoil it. It's been out long enough. Just remind me.
Okay, there's a bit where he has to get the young daughter who's about like 11 or 12 is at this party that she's not supposed to be at, and then she goes and she ends up eating a peanut cake, and she's got a peanut allergy. So he goes to collect her. He doesn't want to. He's all like huffy, like, oh, I'll get her. So he's rushing back because she's choking, and she puts her head out the window because she's trying to get some air, and he drives past a telephone pole, and it's just boom. Decapitates her, doesn't cut away. Horrible scene. And it's just him parked in silence, like just in complete, and him going home and like going to bed and like not knowing what to do.
Going to bed.
No, he literally doesn't know what to do. The mother wakes up the next day and she looks in the car and the decapitated daughter is still in the car and she has a meltdown. And he's like traumatized. He's like he's PTSD.
Shock.
It's and the whole cinema was just like
I definitely don't want to watch that now.
Yeah,
fantastic.
It's brilliant.
The best horror movie I've seen since The Shining.
It's psychological, and the ending is. I just remember the ending going, "Holy crap! That's a really good way to end that movie." The whole kind of thing about the treehouse as well, and there's a nice twist, and I like movies like that build up and give you that satisfaction at the end. Like, there's obviously parts in it that are gruesome and that, but you're watching a horror movie and you want to be almost shocked from time to time. Evil Dead is always good. New one coming soon. I do like the Evil Dead, I have to say, for just kind of leave your brain at the door, have some fun. I think Evil Dead is really good.
I just want to say, I think it's very funny that we started this podcast by dunking on A24 and now we're talking about a great
A24. That's true. They make great movies. I love A24 movies. They're all fantastic. Have you ever gone through a list of like the top 20 best A24 movies? They're all phenomenal.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's a good place to leave it, guys. That was a hell of a lot of fun, very nostalgic, and thank you so much to the guests, which, well, it could be future guests. We are going to maybe take a section where we bring people on from the community to join in on the conversation and just give us your thoughts. And as Paddy says, tell us that we're wrong all the time. Thanks so much, guys. It's been good to get 2 weeks running in a row again. Hopefully we can keep it going and keep it pushing and keep the subs going up and up. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we seem to be getting there slowly but surely. It's quite difficult to build on YouTube, but with your help, we could get there. So please do hit that thumbs up, write a comment, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Thank you, Paddy, Aidan, and John. Where can the good folks find all of you? Start with Paddy.
The Republican Players. There you go. You want to find me, just look for me. You'll find me.
John Fogarty.
2O for gaming. That's TOOOLD for gaming. All one word. And you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I don't really use Instagram. I should get back into it. But all everywhere the same.
Instagram's fun for shorts. That's what I've kind of gathered. Makes me laugh. Some of the shorts.
It does. It makes me bloody reels are brilliant on that. So
funny. I think you mentioned it last week, and I was like, I'll try it out. And there's some good stuff there. It seems to be a little bit higher quality content than TikTok. But Aidan, where can the good folks find you?
Find me on Twitter at AODHAIN616. And I'd like to apologize to Rubber Bandit, who just mentioned the show, and I'm just like, that show's terrible. I'm so sorry about that.
That's all right. Agree to disagree.
Yeah. What about you, Ron? Where can we find you when you're not here?
I am just creating stuff for YouTube now. I'm really busy at work, so I'm not getting as much time. But Republic of Players, always there, always willing to have a chat with anyone that wants to have a conversation with me, talk about video games or anything.
Have an argument.
Have an argument, yeah. I'm always right. I just want to let you know that. So
we all are.
Thanks so much, guys.
I just apologize for something.
It's been a lot of fun, and we will see everyone next week, same time, same place. Tell your friends, tell your family, bring your pets, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.